Kia ora, a cold morning across many parts of New Zealand this morning, thanks to this southerly air that ran right across us. So even up in the far north, we saw temperatures down to around about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. Like I say, Kerry, a cold day for those northern parts, while down south, temperatures down below freezing through parts of central Otago. Having a look at the satellite picture gives a really nice clue of what's happening. This swirl of cloud out towards the eastern side of the country, an area of low pressure. Now the good news is that's moving down towards the south and the east, so it should be pulling away from most of New Zealand. Still some stronger winds to watch out for the likes of, say, the Chatham Islands, some strong winds there, perhaps even gales from that northeasterly direction as we head in towards the end of the day on Thursday and through towards that first part of the day on Friday. But generally, as the system pulls away, we're in for some drier and brighter weather. For this afternoon, still pretty windy around the likes of, say, Wellington and Wairarapa and those coastal parts of Hawke's Bay. Still a severe weather watch out for those winds as we head through that first part of the afternoon. But generally, you can see there's plenty of dry, bright and sunny weather across the North Island and even down towards the South Island, especially down that western side and down towards the south. A touch more cloud pushing in towards that eastern side, in towards parts of, the northern parts of Otago, in towards Canterbury and towards those more eastern parts of Marlborough as well, around that Kaikoura coast. Perhaps a few isolated showers just skirting those places as well that stick out, places like the Kaikoura area and down towards Banks Peninsula as well, and a few more showers out towards the Chatham Islands too. But I think generally the further west you go, the better, the brighter it will be, and I think some decent spells of sunshine through the afternoon. A cold night though again, but not quite as cool as we saw last night. So to head on towards Friday, this low pressure continues to move down slowly towards the south and the east. This next feature runs in from the west as we head towards the end of the day, but between them, a very slim ridge of higher pressure, and generally things are fairly settled across most of New Zealand as we head in towards Friday. So generally a dry, bright day for many of us, just watching this cloud thickening up and this rain just pushing on towards that western coast, but really quite late in the day before we start to see that pushing on towards that western side. So for many of us, it will be another chilly start, not quite as cold as we saw overnight in towards those early hours of Thursday, but a bit of a chilly start first thing across the North Island, but plenty of sunshine right the way through. We'll start to find the cloud pushing in towards those more northern parts, up and towards Northland by the end of the morning time, and through the afternoon that cloud starts to thicken up, but generally it stays dry, and we are going to find there's still plenty of light winds as well. Now the benefit of a bit more cloud through the nighttime and the winds changing direction to be more northerly will mean our nighttime temperatures are much better than we'll see over the next couple of, or we've seen over the last few nights. So not nearly as cold as we head through towards that first part of Saturday morning. A dry day down this eastern side of the country, plenty of sunshine, the clouds staying away there. A fine, dry and sunny story for the likes of, say, Gisborne, and also down in towards Hawke's Bay as well, a fine looking day there. You can see these stronger winds start to pull away from that coastal parts of the Wairarapa. Generally, I think it'll be dry. There'll still be bits of cloud around first thing and perhaps a few showers about the tops of, say, the Taurua range. But generally, it's a dry story, a fine looking day, and the winds are much lighter in Wellington as well. Not a bad story. As we head through towards the afternoon, again, as this next feature moves in from the west, places like Taranaki will start to see that cloud thicken up, especially as we head through to the afternoon, especially those northern parts north of the mountain. We'll find the cloud thickening as we head through the afternoon. But again, temperatures still up into the 20s or so as we go through towards the afternoon, especially for the likes of, say, Wanganui and across in towards Hawke's Bay, some of the best temperatures through there. Now, there will be more cloud as we head through nighttime, and again, it will mean that our nighttime temperatures overnight Friday and towards Saturday, which are the numbers you can see here, aren't going to be as cold as the temperatures you see first thing on Friday morning. Crossing down towards the top of the South Island, it's a very similar story. There's plenty of dry weather from, say, Marlborough and across down towards Nelson and down this western coast in towards Westland. A fine story there. Perhaps a little bit more cloud around first thing for the likes of, say, Christchurch, but that'll clear off pretty quickly through the morning time, and a fine day there. Now through the afternoon, that cloud will thicken on that western coast, but generally dry as we head through the afternoon. As we go through towards the end of the day, we'll start to find some wet weather pushing in from the west. And there are some severe weather watches in place for those parts of, say, the Nelson district north of Motueka, and also those ranges across the far western side of Marlborough, so the Richmond and Bryant ranges, as we head towards the end of the day, more especially from say, about midnight Friday into towards Saturday and through in towards Saturday. Could be some heavy falls of rain to watch out for, but later on. So during the day on Friday, generally dry, turning cloudier, and then this rain arriving through the night time. Down across the southern parts of the country, again, a cold start today first thing. Good clear skies, light winds, and that cold air still with us. So a chilly start today on Friday, but plenty of dry, sunny conditions through the morning time. And even through the afternoon, there's plenty of sunshine still with us. Areas of cloud here and there, but generally staying dry. Just seeing the winds picking up around the Fiordland coast, and that wet weather edging closer towards us as we head towards the end of the day on Friday, but generally staying offshore until really late in the day, and then pushing across us as we head through the night time. Through in towards Saturday, you can see this front runs across the country. Some heavy rainfall towards Nelson and towards those areas through there, but also briefly heavy bursts as this front runs across Northland and Auckland, perhaps even bringing the odd rumble of thunder as we head through in towards Saturday. Keep an eye on the forecast charts through there. You can see it gradually takes its time to move across the North Island through Saturday daytime. So we are going to find perhaps a dry weather for a time on this eastern coast, but even here I think we'll find that wet weather is with us. For the South Island, a touch more cloud for a time and perhaps a few spots of rain as this front runs through, but you can see by the end of the day a pretty clear story. And then as we head through towards Sunday, a brief ridge of pressure builds back towards us, so generally a drier day and not nearly as cold as it has been. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.